Color Legals, my support. Color Man, my defense. Drink your ass some tea. I do say I apologize. I'm just talking to you. You know how it go, boo. It go a classical bitch mode when in the wellness of others are at heart. And that's what we are studying now. Drink you some tea. Now let's watch.
Three strikes and you're out. I got three cabinet members in Donald Trump's own administration that, by his own definition, have committed mortgage fraud. If you define mortgage fraud as holding more than one property that you've listed as your primary residence at the same time in order to get favorable mortgage rates. That's what Donald Trump uses Bill Pulte, the Nepo baby that heads the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac entities, to go after as a pit bull, go after Democrats for quote unquote mortgage fraud, like Lisa Cook of the Federal Reserve. They've even opened up a Department of Justice criminal investigation. And yet there are three members of Donald Trump's own cabinet, according to the very same public records that Bill Pulte used against the Democrats, that show they have committed quote unquote mortgage fraud, or at least they list two properties at the same time as their principal residence. I'm going to go over the sordid tale of the labor secretary, the transportation secretary, and the administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency, and why, based on Donald Trump's own sword, it should be off with their heads. Here on the Midas Touch Network and Legal AF, I'm Michael Popak. ProPublica just broke the story because they went and did what Bill Pulte did. They pulled all the public records. I'm just going to warn everybody now. You have a mortgage, your life is in the public records and anybody can pull it. So they went through all the cabinet members. There's 15 of them. And they found three of them, or 20%, that have two properties at the same time that they have listed as their primary residence. Why does that matter? Because in the mortgage lending market, business, you get usually a quarter to a half a percentage point better rate if you live in the home full time. The theory is, from a behavioral standpoint, you won't default on your loan if you're living there. You're less likely to, but you might default on the rental property or the second home, the vacation home, and that's the theory. And you know, this is all based on risk assessment, and so they give you a better rate if you live there. Well, there's also plenty of reporting out there, including, get this, speaking of the Federal Reserve, a 2023 Philadelphia Federal Reserve report that says this type of activities, multiply listing two primary residences, is not the fault of the borrower. It's the fault of the loan officer. That real estate lawyers say it is commonplace for banks who know about the fact you have a primary loan to list the second loan as a primary loan as well. So it gets through underwriting, even from the same bank. They encourage it. Not that they encourage fraud. They just encourage that box get checked and the language, the primary residence language, be included in order to get a better rate. And what is the borrower left with? The borrower's left with a raft of documents that go to the ceiling. Check, 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 check. And now it's even electronic. Check, 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 check. And then it's like, oh, you committed mortgage fraud. I mean, the only case that Bill Pulte, this Nepo baby whose family has a housing construction fortune based in the.
Now in Dinksy, now you understand in Dinkacy that this is a lot of cruelness United States of America was hiding. Now are you understanding, Color Legals? Colorman lawyers, my support. Drink you some tea. Now let's observe more.
Southeast, the only thing he can ever come up with, this is fraud. All right, give me one example where it's been prosecuted. Well, there's this 2016 case. All right, let's talk about the 2016 case. The 2016 case, the woman was a straw man, a fall person. She wasn't even the buyer. She was using her credit to obtain loans for some other thief, some other fraudster. They bought a whole series of houses and properties under her name, listing each one as primary residence. And then when she went belly up and all the properties got lost, it was about a $500,000 loss to the banks. Well, that's not what we have here. We're just talking about checking boxes at this point. Let's look at the sordid tale. First of all, Bill Pulte loves to go on his social media. He's fallen in love with his social media following, and he loves to post there, even though he's supposed to be head of a major mortgage entity in America. And he'll say, 3 strikes and you're out, Lisa Cook. I might have found a third property, or fraud will not be tolerated in Donald Trump's housing market. And then right on cue, you see Pam Bondi or Ed Martin, who's prosecuting or looking into the prosecution of Adam Schiff, the senator, because he has 2 properties, one in DC and one in California. And Lisa Cook, and she's got a couple of properties. And maybe Letitia James, the New York Attorney General, has a multifamily house that may be 4 units instead of 5 units or whatever it is. It's ridiculous. Let's look at first the Labor Secretary, Chavez, Labor Secretary Lori Chavez DeRimmer. She used to be the mayor of Oregon. She's got a house in Oregon. Public records show it's her primary residence. And yet, she has another house in an Arizona golf course community for several $1 million with a loan attached to it, where she lists that as her primary residence, and she did it all in the same year. 3 strikes and you're out, Pulte. I mean, I'm expecting now, as I'm recording this hot take, that there be a Department of Justice criminal investigation opened as to Lori Chavez DeRimmer, the Labor Secretary. Instead, I get a quote.
Open a criminal investigation report on all presidents and all future presidents to see what type of manner are you trying to start. Now let's listen more. Drink you some tea.
Back from their spokespeople, this is just a left-wing rag sheet. No, it's not. You have the same multiple property primary residence box checking problem that Lisa Cook does, and at least Adam Schiff does. Let's go to the
So he's bringing people to his house that he doesn't want nobody else to be encouraged to know. Drink you some more tea.